Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Leanne. I'm a yoga and Pilates teacher, online coach and personal trainer. Today I'm going to take you through a 45-minute live Pilates class which is designed for, there's many of us with illness right now, so you might have a bit of inflammation in the body, so we're going to get into some nice stretches, some relaxation work, some hip openers, some abs, so a bit of an all-rounder really, but let's mobilise the spine. I'm going to get started standing up. So let's start with calf raises. So some hip openers today, but we need to make sure we're warm enough. And if we're working hip openers and mobilising the pelvis, we're keeping the spine nice and flexible as well. Another 10, 8. Engaging the core. 2. Good. Into good mornings. Hands next to your ears. Hips get sent back. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings and then squeeze the bum cheeks to rise. Really leaning into the weight of to the stretch of the hamstrings. That's how far down you're coming. Pushing your bum back is keeping your spine in neutral and flat. And the weight should be in your heels, so you should be able to lift your toes up if you had to. Good. It's all in the hips. Another 5. Good. Into lateral leg lift. Looking for 20. 17, 19, 20. Over to the other side. 6. Hopefully feel it on the stabilizing leg. 12. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Into curtsy squats. Get sent back. Knee does point in a different direction, however it's safe and in the middle of your foot. Back over to the side. So the more you come over, the more strength in the outer hip area. It's quite a strange movement. Everyone speaks about the knee joint being a hinge joint, but it's more than that. It's a semi-bicondylar joint, which means it can move in the left and the right motion. So we're keeping it flexible and keeping the ability to move. Another 2. 1. And then over to the other side. So great for proprioception, great for reducing fall risk. And imagine the amount of strength and stability needed to come up. Take your time coming up on that one leg. Excellent range of movement, Katie. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. Good. And then using the warm muscles to finish the set, we're going to come down into Uttanasana. Hips get sent back, belly to thigh. You're relaxing the neck. Hips up to the sky so you feel the stretch in the hamstring. Placing your hands next to your foot or behind your heel. I want you to dip in and out of straightening, locking that knee one at a time. If you can do both, great. Or sending them hips up to the sky, locking and unlocking. Relaxing the neck. Another 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Good. A few seconds rest. Grab a drink and do that again. Okay. See if we can get a bit deeper. Good mornings. Hips get sent back. Coming all the way down to the hamstring stretch and squeezing the bum cheeks to rise. Making sure you're not pulling or rounding at the neck. Another 5. 4. It's like an active stretch. One more. Good. Into lateral leg lifts. Looking for 20. 6. And over to the other side when you finish last rep. Let it burn. 14. 19. 20. Then we're looking for 10 to 12 curtsy squats, starting on the less fatigued leg. 3. Sitting back on the back leg, so you're keeping your chest upright. 7. 9. Last 2. Excellent. Over to the other side. Last 2. Well done. Then over to the hamstring stretch. So Uttanasana, belly to thigh, walking your hands down, holding behind the hips, relax the neck, holding behind the heels, and then dipping in and out and straightening those legs for the hamstring stretch if you can, or just decrease the bend you've got in the leg. Another 10. 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. Coming onto the mat for some cat-cow. Using a somatic approach, so lingering in either the cat or the cow a bit longer if you enjoy, if it feels good. I'm going to move in hip side to side movements, looking at either hip if you can. Can you see the same amount of your hip? If not, in the tighter area, lean further over. Again, taking your time with the tighter side. It's shocking how different. I cannot see the left side of my glute, my leg. Really got to lean. So I'm just spending a bit longer in that side. Another 4. One more. Good. First hip opener, we're going to go into the pigeon pose. I've not done this for a few weeks. So back leg is sitting in the middle of the mat. So don't expect too much from your body just now. So we settle in. Chest proud. And chest shines forward. Trying to relax and switch off the thighs. So around this time of year, if you've got illness or recovering from an illness, or you may be coming down with something and not sure yet, you can be inflamed. So this class we're going to do quite a bit of stretching just for prevention. If you want to increase the stretch, you can bring that foot up a little bit more and you get more into the hip and glute area, piriformis area. If you want to come onto your elbow, if it feels okay to feel free. Two more big deep breaths. Pushing your hips into the floor. Good. Taking your time, swapping over to the other side. Sitting in the middle of your mat, using your exhale to relax into the stretch. Keep body scanning, switch off any areas that are tensed. Increase the stretch if you feel you're able to. 2 more deep breaths. Good. Coming back into child's pose. Toes kiss each other nice and wide in the knees. Second hip opener. You're going wide enough so you feel that mild discomfort in the inner groin. And you're just going to sit with it. Good. Making our way over to our backs. For some core and glute work simultaneously. We're going to come into the bridge position. So if you do get cramped during this position, have a play around with your foot placing. It might be too far away from your hips, or it might be too close. Keep your hips up. Ideally, your hips should be in line with your thigh. And they should be level as well. Core's engaged. I'm going to bring in a pulse. Squeezing the bum cheeks. It's your bum cheek squeeze that's lifting the pulse. Going for 20. You'll feel this in the hamstrings as well. 10, 9, 6, 4, 3, 2. You got the option to hold or release for 10, 5, 4. Feel the warmth in your back and release. Apanasana. Bring the knees in for a hug and roll side to side. First core exercise, legs straight up. If you are somebody who wants to have super straight legs and build that strength in your hip flexors, and your legs are looking like this now, every so often just keep straightening, and you'll build that strength to keep them straight constantly. But you can feel your abs switched on to keep them like that. So back flat against the floor and imprinted. Rib cage is tucked in. You've got tension of full core. I'm going to go out and in, out and in. So you're going as wide as you can where you feel that in the inner thigh, that stretch. And then as you're bringing the leg in, it's your tension, it's your toning and strength you're working on. But keep that back completely flat against the floor by using your core to push it down. Another 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So this is another hip opener, number 3, 2, 1. Good. Relaxation breaths. Inhale through the nose as the arms rise, and slow exhale. Again, another 2 like that. Pushing the belly out on the inhale. One more. So you have got the option to come into glute bridge again and pulse it out and then a hold, or if you want to progress things and make things a bit harder, work on stability of the pelvis, you can go into singles for 10 each side. Really feel that in the bum cheek. 4, 3, keeping your hips level. 2, 1, release over to the other side. 2, feeling the warmth in the back. Coming down with control. 5, 4, 2, 1. Good. Release. We're going to bind our legs and bind our hands. Elbow to knees for a crunch. Again, back, it stays imprinted. You're not bringing your legs all the way out. You are strengthening your neck as well. Another 10. And you get your hips off the floor. 8. You can support your neck as well, or you can rest it on the floor if you're finding it hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 3 deep breaths in. Excellent. Over to double or single glute bridge. Another 10. 4. Relaxing your neck, your shoulders. 6, 8, 9, 10, over to the other side. 6, 9, Apanasana, a hug and roll. Arms out to your side, window wipers, so you can do a little pulse, left and right, or you can come all the way down with bent knees and enjoy a stretch in your ribs and all that side on the lateral side. These work best slowing them right down and appreciating the core effort for control. Bring your knees to navel height and as down as far as you can. Let's go for another 4. 2. One more. Well done. 3 deep breaths to recover and promote relaxation. One more. Last core exercise, supporting, hip, single leg glute bridges. Last 10. 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, release. Notice where's burning and where you're feeling this. 5, that's where you're toning and strengthening. 7, 9, 10, well done. So legs up as straight as you can manage. Again, if you want to dip in and out of straightening them as you do this. Neck is supported by your back of your arms. You're going to come up and squeeze and down again. As you're doing this, you can try and get your hips off the floor to engage that lower core as well and tone that. Keeping that back flat. As many as you can, or 10 more. 6, 4, a lot of weight to that lower core. 2, good. Last 3 deep breaths in. One more. I'm going to stretch the legs right out and the arms over your head, pushing your limbs away from the centre of your body, your core. Big stretch like you've just got out of bed. I'm going to walk our feet back in. Feet kiss, knees out to the side for your 4th hip opener. You've got a neutral curve in your lower back, that's normally there for you. You can place a block underneath or your fists under, if you're feeling it more intense on one side. Oops. Just trying to relax with that discomfort. I'm going to close your legs like a book and shift your hips over to the right, knees over to the left for spinal twist. Pull out and lengthen all the muscles in your back. And just settle in, keeping both shoulder blades on the mat. If you can progress it from here whilst keeping both shoulders on the mat, you can straighten the top leg. Using your exhale, so big breaths, filling the lungs. Slower the exhale and just switch off those muscles. Keep body scanning through your body. Where's tensed? Where you're holding tension in the muscles. Just relax it. Lats are common under your armpit, your upper back, your shoulders. Might be your glutes, your thighs. Allow yourself to lean into that stretch. Push against it almost, if it feels good. And you bring your knee up a little bit further. Do what feels good for you and your body. 2 more big deep breaths. Well done. Bending both knees and using the weight of the knees to come back into semi-supine. Just pause here. Feel this tension of the stretch melt away. You feel a lot more stretched on one side. Once that's dissipated, hips over to the left, knees over to the right, arms out to the side, and settle in on this side. Relaxing your shoulders, your jaw. Thinking of how it feels in the body right now. And if you want to extend that top leg, feel free. But keep the shoulders on the mat. Lean against that stretch. Allow yourself to feel the sensation in your body. Can you notice the subtle changes from this side to the other side? Where? Two more big deep breaths. Coming back into semi-supine for a moment to appreciate that stretch sensation. You can come into Apanasana or Happy Baby, where you hold on to the ridges of your feet and knees towards your armpits. You can move side to side. Gentle rock using your shoulders to move you. It's another hip opener. And you can have a little bit of a play and extend one leg at a time just to see how it feels. Move them out further and in. Having your arms lead. Good. Coming on to our bellies next. I'm looking to counteract some of the back bends that we've been doing, seated position, driving, poor posture. So coming into the Sphinx position, sitting tall, pushing your hips into the mat with squeezing your bum cheeks and holding on to that clench in the bum cheeks to protect that lower back. Allow yourself to feel the stretch. A nice long neck. If you can look to the ceiling, even better. Shoulders down, chest shines forward. If you find this difficult, like me, it's a sign again that you need to do more. You can use your hands to push into the mat. Release. And then I'm going to come into child's pose to counteract that back bend for fluidity. I'm going to move over to the left, pushing your hip on the right down away from you, leaning into that stretch. And over to the right, leaning the left hip away from you, leaning into it. And from child's pose, we're coming back down into Sphinx. Squeezing the bum cheeks. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. We'll have shoulders down, squeezing the bum cheeks, pushing the hips into the ground. Nice long deep breaths. One more big deep breath in. Excellent. Back into child's pose. Over to the left, pushing your right hip away. Leaning into the right hip to increase the stretch. And over to the right, pushing the left hip away. Really lean into the left hip. Again, nice and wide, feet together, nice and wide, child's pose. As wide as you can, so you've got that discomfort in the inner groin. Deep breaths. The further you get to the mat, the more of a hip opener you'll get. Trying to switch off them leg muscles. Using the exhale to silence and calm the nervous system. Stay here, or have you got the option to go into frog's pose? So ankles should be in a line with your knee. toes pointing out, and then I'm going to come down as far as you can, which isn't much for me. Gets really deep in the hip. Just going to hold that. If you feel it in your knees, don't go down as far. Breathe. It's okay to feel it deep in the hip. One more big deep breath in. Excellent. Last stretch is a shoelace. So you'll need a block if you want to reduce the intensity of the stretch. So we'll be starting in hero. It's quite intense without the block. So your right leg comes by your left knee. And then as we untuck this bottom foot, we're going to sit on the block simultaneously. And then you're going to shimmy both knees on top of one another, feet out to the side, and you feel a stretch here. To increase the stretch, send the hips back, belly to thigh, coming forward. And if you're brave enough, you can remove the block at any point, but you can take time to settle in. Everyone's looking at Katie. She's got that hypermobility. Hypermobile as this one. Are you not? I thought you were. You must be. Yeah, it's really intense here. I'm going to try and remove the block. See, breathe through it. This is like a very hard pigeon pose, but it shows you how tight. It shows you how tight we all are, right? And it's safe to work on this flexibility right now because we have warmed up the muscle. One more big deep breath in. Excellent. Sitting back on the block to swap over. Coming back into hero. Sitting tall. And then the left leg now comes over to the right knee. Untucking the bottom as we sit on the block. Shimmying the knees over. Excellent. Settle in. Belly to thigh, hips back. This is definitely a tighter one for me. I'm going into a pretzel. I don't know what you've done. There we go, yeah. That might be you for the rest of the day now, stuck like that. We're all struggling together apart from Katie. Do you want to sit up here and see?
One day I'd be glad I had no eyes.
One more big deep breath in. Send them hips back. Excellent. Untucking. Let's do a bit of Shavasana. We've not done the corpse pose for a while. To bring in a bit of meditation. So I'm just going to lie in Shavasana. If it's more comfortable for you to be in semi-supine, feel free. if it's easier on your back, or you can put a rolled up blanket, they're over there under the back as well. You've got that option. I'm just going to lie here in Shavasana for a moment as I guide you through some relaxation. I'm going to start with taking 3 big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, filling the lungs. And every exhale you do, you're just going to sink further into the flow, melt into your mat. Just want you to be completely comfortable. Every exhale, you're letting go of that tension in your body. Relaxing your jaw and your teeth, has space between them. Relaxing your facial muscles, your forehead. Feeling your heels in the mat. I want you to go through scanning your body for any tension and just switch it off with your exhale. Feeling the weight of your pelvis, your hips in the mat, the backs of your knees, your chest and your shoulders. And on the inhale, your belly rises, you're sending the oxygen all the way down to your belly. Your chest and ribs will rise, and you'll have a bit of space between your ribs on the inhale. The more you incorporate your diaphragm, your chest, your ribs on the inhale, the more relaxation you're able to get from a slower, larger exhale. Feeling the backs of your elbows on the mat and the backs of your hands. I want you to visualize how your big toe on your left foot looks. Is it painted? Is it pointing a certain direction? Do you have socks on? What's on your socks? Every time your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath. Don't place any spotlight on the thought. You've got time to think about these things after. But right now is time for you with your body. I want you to visualize a warm, happy place. Perhaps you're on the beach, you feel the sand in between your toes. Maybe it's a nice warm sand. What sounds are there? Which beach is it? Meditation is a practice. That takes practice and consistency. This is seated meditation, where I give you something to focus on. It's good for beginners. On the next inhale, I want you to make your way back into a seated position to practice some pranayama. I was reading about the importance of Om, which is pronounced A-U-M, rather than Om, O-M. And it's meant to be in line with like the frequencies of the universe, and it's very calming and can help promote meditation and the meditative state as well. So if you'd like to practice the Om, pronounced A-U-M, Aum, feel free. And it'll also stimulate the vagal nerve behind the voice box and help kick up that parasympathetic nervous system and can help with relaxation. So any seated position, we're just going to bring our hands into the chin mudra, which is having respect for oneself and the divine and the inner light. Sitting tall, shoulders down away from ears and chest proud. Naturally observing natural course of your breath. And on the exhale, you can start to bring in an Aum. Inhale, big inhale. Again. One more. As loud as you can, vibrate in that voice box. Namaste, my inner divine light bows down to your inner divine light. I hope you sleep well tonight.